So, hello everyone. This is probably like the most requested video for the Training Tuesday series, and probably I will have had these questions, these requests before anyway, but loose lead walking, because yeah, no dog is born with the ability or the knowledge of how to loose lead walk. Some pick it up quicker and easier than others, but it's not something that they naturally do. They also have something, right, called the opposition reflex. So the opposition reflex is meant to be like, if I pushed against her now, see how she moved away? That's wrong. Like, the opposition reflex is when she's gonna like push into me instead of away from me. And that's basically what happens, is they feel the lead pressure, and instead of releasing and coming closer to you to loosen the pressure, they want to pull and get away from the pressure. So that's the opposition reflex. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole leads, harnesses, head collars debate. I use slip leads, and generally I don't need to use anything else. So you should have, for the correct lead placement, dogs are always on my left hand side, and for most dog sports they should be on your left hand side. So your lead should be able to make a P. So you see how that's the letter P, and the right way around. And then we're going to put it on her. But to put it on her, to give her a good positive association with it, I got a treat in this hand, and I'm going to lure her through. So she's going to think, okay, well, not when the lead comes on my fun ends, it's going to be when the lead comes on I get a treat. So she's going to have a positive association with the lead going on. Now, lead placement is a big thing. Back, Rave. Rave, back. That's it. So see how it's up high and up behind her ears? If it's down there, there's more freedom, whereas if it's up here, it's better placed. So just because she's on a slip lead doesn't mean she's going to know how to not pull automatically. So we do a little bit of training. So what I'm going to do is just walk, and I want her to go to the end of the lead, which she's obviously not going to do because we're training, but I want her, tell you what, I might actually, so if I throw a treat, she didn't even see it, right? So I'm going to let her feel the end of the lead, so see how she's pulling against it now. So to release that pressure, yes, she's got to come close to me, right? Yes, and she's got a treat from me, and she's had the pressure released. Now, Raven does know how to loose lead walk, and she also knows she's training, so she's going to stay closer to me. So it's not actually the easiest thing to demonstrate, but what I do is I'd walk in little zigzags, so she feels the pressure on the turn, and then the pressure releases when she comes back, when she comes towards me. And that's what I really like about the slip lead, is it's loose on her now because she's walking nicely, and if she pulls, it tightens, and if she stops pulling, it loosens, it releases, and that's key. So it's good pressure release. So it's a clear reward for her, even if I don't reward her. So does that make sense? So we just think about turning and reaching the end of the lead, and she feels that little tug, and then she goes and comes close, tug, release. Little tug, release. You see how gentle I'm being, because she's been very good. So the other thing I like to teach that helps for loose lead walking is the heel position. So left leg back, left leg forward, we're in the heel position. And then from this heel position, I'll just randomly drop a treat. So it's always better if Raven manages to catch it, I'm not going to lie. Rave, so it doesn't matter. Rave, you can find it later, baby girl. Good, so I'm going to, Rave, randomly drop in, see how she caught it, but she's not thinking of going anywhere. She's not going to think, oh, let's go and sniff that bush, let's go and find that nice bit of duck poo to eat or horse poo to eat, she's going to think, right, okay, mum's got food in her hand, and if I stand in the right place, she's going to randomly drop it. See how her mouth was going ready? Oops, I dropped. That was my fault, I accidentally dropped an extra one. Got a freebie, Raves. Raves, come on, we want to get a little bit of like a rhythm going on this. We're not doing very good. So drop, and she dropped it, of course she did. But I'm still holding the treat up high, and see how she's still in position. I'm going to drop it, and she caught it, and I'm going to drop it. So she's just learning, basically, that up close, randomly, treats will fall. Randomly, treats will fall. Good. So again, it's a positive association being close to you. So then, once she's got a bit more of a routine of catching it when I'm stood still, I'm going to start walking her with the random release. The random release. So she keeps dropping it because it's Raven and we can't do anything like a proper real dog, or like you would do when we're not filming a video, right? See how she's walking on a loose lead because she's following my hand. She's not thinking about pulling, about going to sniff that, bush that, go and see the duck that's now coming across. She's concentrated on my hand, and I got a nice loose lead, and you just randomly drop those treats. So I find that like a really easy technique for getting them loose lead walking. And the other important thing to remember with loose lead walking is you can't go from pulling like a steam train to then walking for 15-20 minutes on a loose lead with no breaks, with no time to go and sniff and be a dog. So I think, like, okay, we're walking nicely now, she can have a treat now, she can have a treat now, and I'm going to walk towards this bush, and I'm going to just give her a little treat, and then I'm going to go and give her a loose lead and go, okay. So okay is my release word. She wants to go and sniff and explore and have a little wander, have a wee. If it's a boy, they're going to want to wee on every bush and smell every scent because they're boys. You've got to give them time to do that as well. And I really like that technique. Now, for example, if Raven was pulling like a steam train, another good thing to do, and it's really hard to show you because she's not pulling like a steam train, but I would just stand still. So she's pulling that way, and then as soon as she gives her attention back to me, she'll get a reward. And that way they learn, and they also, sorry about the duck noise, they also not get in their own way. So if she was pulling like a train to go and sniff, and if she was a boy to wee on those bushes, those plants were there, I would not let her go there unless she was going there politely on my terms. So if she was pulling like a train, I'd just hold her steady, I'd wait for the attention to come back on me, then she'd have a treat. Then I'd maybe walk her and see if I could do a few like closer finding exercises, and I might decide to walk her quietly on my terms over to these plants here, or I might decide to avoid them at all. And that's up to you because you're in charge, you're in control, you know, and you can see I'm not being horrible about it. She's getting a lot of treats for being a good girl. You're right. She's like, this is the weirdest training session we've ever done, Mother. So basically, don't let them get away with pulling you in a certain direction. Walk in the opposite direction if they do that. Teach them how to release the pressure on a slip lead, because if you think now she's not pulling, that slip lead's loose, may as well not be on her. And that's really nice for a dog, that there's a clear release when they're being good. And that's what I like, is it can be soft and it can be a bit hard. And it's not awfully hard, it's just hard enough to have a say if they're being cheeky. And then work on this, where she's focused on my hand and I drop a treat randomly. She is usually a bit better at catching them than she's been today, but hey ho, right? is just hand up, randomly drop a treat. And I'm going to wait for a focus to go up to my hand, and then I'm going to drop it. And she still didn't catch it. Can we actually end it on you catching at least one? Apparently not. Oh, I went far, right? You still didn't catch it. Oh my goodness, Claudia. Since when? Yes, good girl. She actually caught one then. So anyway, I hope this gave you a few tips, a few ideas. It's not actually the easiest because with my dogs, especially when I come out here and they're on their own, they know they're going to do some training and they kind of focus and they're really good about it. So it's quite hard to show you the training when they're doing it all right. But anyway, it's work, it's consistency, and you can do it. You will get it eventually. And the other thing I like about these slip leads, see how you've got the metal there. With this metal, if they were being particularly bad, like maybe the boys on a near walk or something, you go like that and then it works as a figure of 8. So I'll just show you on Raven. Not that she needed it, but anyway, so it'll go like that on the figure of 8 if you need to. So you've got like a bit of a backup if they're really not listening. So yeah, if you're getting a slip lead, you may as well get one with that little metal clip just to help you out, just in case you need it. But anyway, I hope you found this helpful. And maybe I'll try and film in the real world loose lead walking rather than at home where they're better behaved. If you guys want to see that, let me know. And yeah, I shall see you all soon. Bye.